Welcome to the Raw Food Health Empowerment Podcast, where we delve into the powerful benefits of a holistic, high raw vegan lifestyle for achieving optimal health, brain function, and overall well being. I'm your host, Samantha Salmon, certified integrative nutrition coach and brain health licensed trainer. And today we are talking about 3 unexpected ways to reverse diabetes, combat inflammation, and slash cancer risk. Why is this important? Because diabetes is a really scary and dangerous disease that is totally reversible and preventable. I like to talk about reversing. You hear a lot on the internet about managing diabetes. And this is basically what my grandmother was doing. She was managing her diabetes when in actuality, that was wasted time when we could have been reversing it because she had type 2 diabetes, which is preventable, which is reversible. And ultimately, the managing only led to the acceleration of the deterioration of her organs, right? Of her pancreas. So for a while, she was on a long while, like over a decade, she was on metformin, Plavix, all of these drugs, glucophage, right? She had type 2 diabetes, heart issue, high blood pressure, thyroid. She had all the co-conditions, right? So she was on all these pills and like almost 20 pills a day that she had to take. And eventually, her pancreas needed some support with the insulin production to the point where, like, just doing a blood sugar test in the morning and taking those pills was not sufficient. So she had to inject insulin into her stomach. And these were really long needles that she had to inject. That was going on for about 6 months before her big toe turned black. So you could see there's just a deterioration, right? That whole time that she was going through this, we could have been working on reversal, which is nutrition based, lifestyle based. She wasn't really mobile because all those meds had her pretty much obese, right? Inflamed her body so much that she had joint pain, she had lots of weight on her. And before the diagnosis, before all these pills, before all these medications, she was actually able to go up and down stairs because we lived in New York. New York has basements and upstairs and stuff. So we have a lot of stairs in the home, and she was able to go up and down them. She had basically a normal size, normal weight, but the medications inflamed her body so much. So this is why we are going to be focused on reversal. Okay. That's what I want to talk about. I don't have time for the management. I want to reverse the type 2 diabetes. I want to reverse the inflammation in the body. So here are 3 unexpected ways to go about doing this, right? Okay. So first things first, we combat inflammation with a high raw vegan diet. Of course, I'm going to say this. Why? Because high raw vegan diet, you're basically focusing all your nutrition on fiber rich, water rich food. This food is what's going to have a quicker transit time, go in and out. So you don't have things congregating in your colon, putrefying, and just going bad right in there and turning into disease, right? We want food to go in and come out. And also, this food is anti-inflammatory. All of these fiber-rich plant foods have phytonutrients, are anti-inflammatory. They are anti-cancer, right? They're cancer-fighting foods. Dr. Furman talks about the G bombs to fight cancer. Your greens, beans, and berries, onions, mushrooms, and seeds, right? This is basically a high raw vegan diet because you're going to cook what needs to be cooked and not cook what doesn't need to be cooked. Why? Because it's better for your gut microbiome. It's better for your telomeres, your DNA. You extend your life with raw foods versus cooked, right? Through a process called glycation. If you've ever heard of advanced glycation end products, a lot of sciencey stuff, whatever, but basically you have more longevity to your life. Your body works better, right? When you eat raw foods, things are optimized when you eat raw foods. So you're going to focus in on the leafy greens, the berries, the nuts to kill the inflammation in the body. Okay. How does that look like? So you start your day with a green smoothie, like with spinach, kale, maybe some berries. You can snack on nuts and seeds or just add them to your meals, add them to salads or something like that. You replace your processed food snacks with raw vegetables and a dip that you can make. Maybe you make some hummus, which you can make raw vegan, or you can make all sorts of different types of pestos and dips and things using nuts, seeds, veggies. Like I've made hummus using zucchini. Didn't have to cook anything. Took me less than 10 minutes. Okay. So you replace all the processed food with actually whole foods. Okay. All right. Number 2, boost insulin sensitivity with intermittent fasting. I love intermittent fasting because we really need to give our digestive system a break. What I noticed is that in the Western world, in America specifically, we eat a lot, right? You don't get obesity usually from not eating a lot. We can give our digestive systems a break, consolidate our eating window, allow ourselves more time to drink more water because a lot of us are dehydrated. And sometimes when we're dehydrated, it feels like hunger, but it's not true hunger, right? Intermittent fasting has a ton of benefits. Another book recommendation I could throw out there is Dr. Mindy Pell's Fast Like a Girl, where she talks about all these different fasts you could do for all these different benefits to reset the gut microbiome and all sorts of things, right? Depression to mental health, all sorts of things. But intermittent fasting can boost insulin sensitivity, right? Because insulin resistance is basically the fat in the muscle cells is clogging up the cells. So when you eat something with sugar, which most stuff does have sugar, right? Even healthy foods have sugar. The insulin is secreted from the pancreas and it's supposed to usher the sugar into the cell, but it can't get in because the fat is clogging it up, right? So you have sugar stuck in the bloodstream. So what do? You want to allow the body to tap into the fat stores and burn off that fat in the muscle cells, right? And you are able to do that by not eating so much, right? Just give your body a break. Where a lot of us are overfeeding. We're overfeeding because we're feeding the ghost, the hungry ghost, right? Hedonism. We eat for entertainment. We eat because we're sad, because we're lonely, because we're tired, because we're angry, and not usually because we're hungry, right? But I've talked to a lot of people who don't even know when they're hungry. Like I ask them, okay, what time in the morning are you hungry for breakfast? I don't know, but I typically eat at this time. We're all on the schedule and we're not really tapped into how our body is naturally feeling and how it's responding to the foods that we're eating. It's very important to be in tune. And when you do this, when you take advantage of intermittent fasting, you can boost insulin sensitivity. This is where we really need to be at, because with insulin sensitivity, the pancreas and the insulin and the sugars and everything is working properly, right? So you are able to metabolize sugar properly and quickly and easily keep your blood sugar balanced, right? And stay out of the pre-diabetic and diabetic range when it comes to your A1C. So practice intermittent fasting. Some tips for this: you can dive into a 16-8 where you eat within an 8-hour window and fast for 16 hours. This allows you, like I said, maximize your time allotment to drink at least half your body weight in ounces of water. You can also drink some herbal teas. Just stay hydrated. And you can, for some people I know, like men do really well on one meal a day. Women, they tend to stay with the 16-8 because of hormonal changes and needs, the metabolic needs of our body at different times of the month. The one meal a day is not really sustainable for most women, right? These are generalizations. Of course, there are probably some men out there who can't do one meal a day, but just something I've observed and noticed that you can play around with. So with one meal a day, you literally have one meal a day. It's not a calorie restriction necessarily, because you still eat your calorie allotment for the day. You just condense the time window. And yes, it's according to science, it works very well. And I know for me personally, I have been playing with intermittent fasting for years and I love it, especially as someone who has had a history of acid reflux and things like this. I find that my food's able to digest so much better. If you consider yourself an overeater too, you'll notice like you're never empty. And so with intermittent fasting, it allows you to like empty, right? Your esophagus, your stomach, you just feel more clear and not so full all the time. And number 3, Reduce processed foods. Of course, we need to get rid of processed foods because processed foods contributes to insulin resistance and inflammation in the body. So we replace these with whole, unprocessed foods, fiber-rich foods, right? That's your fruits, your vegetables, and your fiber-rich protein. And this allows for you to stabilize your blood sugar levels, reduce inflammation in the body, and lower your risk of chronic disease. Did I mention a lot of these processed foods have oils that contribute to and feed the cancer? And when we eliminate it, we drastically reduce our risk for cancer. So eliminate the sugary snacks and the beverages. I have some summer beverage recipes over at rawfoodmealplanner.com. When you go over there, you can opt for whole fruits instead of sugary desserts. But if you like sweet desserts, there are raw vegan desserts that are delicious and very healthy for you because they are made just from whole fiber-rich foods, right? My favorite raw food dessert of all time is raw vegan apple pie, my husband's recipe from our store, Earth Healing Cafe, that we used to own. That is my all-time favorite. It has apples, cinnamon, walnut, I believe is the base. I forget all the details of the recipe, but it is delish and is not too many ingredients involved, but I love it. Some people love raw vegan cheesecake, and you can have different toppings, right? The middle layer is cashew is being used for that white middle layer, and you could do a topping of strawberries or blueberries or raspberries, which are in season right now. You could do cherries, which they're in season right now. Whatever you want, you could layer it. So there's a lot of room here. Like when it comes to cuisine and trying different foods, and really what you just need to get into is what flavor profiles do I like? Do I like sweet? Do I like sour? Do I like tart? Lean in on that and just clean up the recipes, right? For healthier ingredients. And you want to replace refined grains with whole grains like quinoa, brown rice, steel cut oats, right? If you are still eating grains, you can still eat grains and reverse insulin resistance and bring down your inflammatory markers. Now, for some people, they need to completely get rid of the grains in order to bring the inflammation down. So that's more of an individual thing, as with a lot of nutrition, which is why I love coaching, because I get to work one-on-one. We get to experiment and see what's working, see what's not working, and navigate and make a game plan from there. I would love to invite you to my free training coming up called Beat Insulin Resistance and Boost Your Energy. If you found this video to be helpful for you, we're going to dive even deeper on how to reverse the insulin resistance, increase your energy, feel good doing it, have fun, because this journey is really a fun journey. You can get healthy, be well, be a great example for yourself and your family. And I cannot wait to see you in the training. So make sure you register. I have the link for that in the show notes to this podcast if you're listening to it on a podcast, or in the description to this video if you're listening to it somewhere else. So thank you again for watching, and let me know which one really surprised you. I'd love to see in the comments below what insights and ahas you've had from this video. Take care and see you soon.